This is Desi Gomez. We're at the Deadline South by Southwest Studio 2026. We're going to talk about the Burbs and the Gilded Age. I'm curious for Celeste, how you wanted to incorporate elements from the original Burbs into this first season, and if that was helpful, if it was challenging, how you wanted to make it differently as well.
Yeah, The Burbs is such an iconic cult classic of a film. And it was important for me to really honor that DNA of the original movie and see the fans and know that they had their favorite movie in good hands. But I wanted to create a whole new world with whole new characters and stories. And it was important to me after working on High Fidelity, which was another show that was based off of a brilliant book and movie. And we really worked hard to include Easter eggs and include nods to that property. And also for the movie The Burbs, like we have little elements from shots to names to posters on the wall that honor the movie and give little Easter eggs throughout. Yeah.
Amazing. Sonja, I'm curious. I've been with the Gilded Age since season 1.
Oh, God bless you.
So exciting to see how it's grown. I'm curious.
You're a lifer.
I am. How have you felt, that this is a good demonstration that people should stick with a show for, a couple seasons, maybe even if it's not their forte? And how has the reception been for you, especially post season 3? I know everyone's very excited for season 4.
They are, as am I. And I go back to production tomorrow. So.
Oh my gosh. That's so exciting.
I would say characters have a journey, and I think people, got invested. The true believers like yourself got invested in season 1. And we had a longer hiatus between season 1 and season 2, because there was a strike, right? There was a dual strike. And so then I think people kind of got on the bandwagon late, but then came back and did their homework and watched seasons 1 through 2. And I know a lot of people, just people in my life, who have apologized to me and said, I didn't watch it until this season, and then I went back and I love it. And I know people in family group chats who have been, we're talking about it, and then everybody wanted to get on the bandwagon. So I think in terms of sticking with it, I'm glad that HBO stuck with it, and I don't always think shows get that time. So I'm grateful.
Yay. I love that. I'm wondering if both of you could speak to the power of an ensemble in a TV show and how important it is casting the right people and getting the chemistry together to tell the stories you're trying to tell.
We were so fortunate. We're blessed with our star, Keke Palmer, who just immediately sets the tone on set. She is 110% from the moment she walks on set, and everyone just kind of lifts to join her there. And we cast a constellation of incredible comedic actors around her, and they all became friends. Like, they all became very close and just had the best time on set. And I think the fun that they had on set translates into the show, and I think viewers can feel that through the show. And it allows me as a writer to craft stories that can be heightened, that can be twisty-turny, but they're grounded in these people that we fall in love with. And I'm so grateful for this cast.
I am grateful for our cast as well. We have, I think, 3 of our actors are on Broadway right now doing shows. It's, the level of talent that we have is just phenomenal. And it's inexplicable. Like, it's a treat every day. And the actors do things with the words that I write that I never could have imagined. And so my cup runneth over.
Yes, amazing. Sonja, I'm also curious if you could tease the historical elements that maybe you're approaching with season 4. I know Jim Gaffigan was cast as Grover Cleveland, a president. That's so exciting. That's one thing I love about the show is there are themes that tie together every season. So what are you hoping to tackle in season 4?
We're hoping to tackle 1885 going into 1886. So I can tell you that. And yes, Jim Gaffigan will be our Grover Cleveland. And I think money and politics are intertwined in this country. They still are. And that's all I can say.
Got it. Thank you. I'm also curious. People are very concerned about Bertha and George.
Yeah.
What has
Railroad Daddy?
Yeah, we love Railroad Daddy. How did you react to that reception and again them growing as a couple throughout the 3 seasons, and how do you approach their dynamic going into season 4?
Well, they're magical to watch, honestly, on screen and off. And I did not realize how invested people were in that marriage. I sort of, in some ways, feel like people thought they were their own parents, or, there was some PTSD of divorce in their family because of the reactions that I got from people. They're magical together. And, I ride with Bertha, so she's always right in my book.
Okay. I believe Julian said the same thing previously.
Oh, he
so
did?
That's exciting.
Yeah, listen, Bertha is everything. So whatever, George needs to get his act together.
I love that. Celeste, I'm also wondering your take. I hear it a lot in my line of work, but with movies and TV shows that studios should go more original and stop doing like these reboots, these remakes. How did you navigate that with the Burbs, and did you feel like that was something you faced going into making the show, and what would you argue about that?
When it was first announced that we were making a TV show, a lot of original fans were not thrilled because they love this property, and that's what I really wanted to honor that movie as we made the show, but at the same time, again, make a new world. But it's a hard thing. I think risk is something that a lot of studios are scared of. So having IP as an impetus for a show is very common now. But you have incredible shows that are made off of original IP, and so I don't think that's a bad thing. But I also look to a lot of shows that are original, like Succession or Abbott Elementary, that don't have big name stars, that tell original stories and are just as beloved. So I hope that we'll continue to see original voices, but also fresh takes on old classics.
Yeah, absolutely. And are you hoping to continue the story you told in the show in any way?
Oh, absolutely.
Amazing.
Hoping to have a second season.
Okay.
And already have big plans for what that looks like.
That's so exciting.
And I hope we get to tell that story.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Curious for both of you then, if you have any dream actors you're hoping to cast down the line, if you can speak to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love for Jennifer Saunders to play Rob's mom, and I would love for Queen Latifah to play Dana's wife. Wow. And that's what we're manifesting for season 2.
She manifested Keke Palmer.
Yeah. You're on track, I would say.
I think she's going to be fine.
That's so exciting. And
I will say that this is that I didn't know I could dream as big as Felicia Rashad. And then we got Felicia Rashad as Elizabeth Kirkland. So I'm fine.
I mean, you also have Merritt Weaver as Bertha's sister. I hope we're going to see more of her in season 4.
We also have every single person who, Christine Baranski and Cynthia Nixon.
The originals.
And Carrie Coon and Morgan Spector. We have a fantastic cast.
Yes. I'm curious how they bounce off each other and add layers that we might not think about unless they're interacting, and if you hope certain groups interact more in the future and what that could help show.
That's a good question. I think that, first of all, the dynamic between Agnes and Ada, those sisters, is so fantastic. And they have, for season 4, they have a whole other journey together that is so layered because it's the sibling rivalry, that goes back to forever. But but it's also, place in society and money and all of that. But I think there will be a lot of interaction between a lot of different characters, and everybody can watch in the fall of 2026.
So excited. Thank you both so much for coming. This was such a great
Thank
chat.
you.
Thank you for having us.
Of course.